All right. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Julie. Hello, Carrie.
Hello. How's it going?
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jay, it's Julie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good.
Everything good? Carrie was on here. Is Carrie still here?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. All right. It was just not showing me you.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready for our second one? How many of y'all already got graded for your first one?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess we'll submit these, but I don't know if it'll make a difference, but hopefully it will. I have not done my task 3 yet. I know that at least one of my people I'm reviewing already has, so way to go, being on top of it. I was supposed to go to a concert tomorrow night, but I will not be because I will be working on task 3.
Oh.
It's all good. All right, so does anybody want to volunteer to start up tonight? Who wants to get reviewed first? Kelly, you're the first person I see, so we're going to review you first. How about that?
All right.
Boom.
Let's do it. Boom.
All right, I reviewed Kelly. Who else reviewed Kelly?
Jay?
Yeah.
So I'm in a hotel in Raleigh. My internet's a little unstable. I think you guys can probably hear me, but I'm having a hard time hearing you. So, point it
We can hear you good.
for me to do something.
Yeah, we can
All
hear
right, so I'm
you.
going to point at Julie.
Okay. Okay. What are you pointing at me for?
Who reviewed Kelly?
I did.
All right, so me and Matt. Matt, you go ahead and go, and I'll go behind you. This is task 2, right?
Yes.
Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
Matt.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good. Julia, obviously reading through your work. Julie, you can hear me, right? Can you hear me, Julie? Maybe not.
Yes.
Well, but you're reviewing Kelly right now, not Julie.
I think it was Jay and Julie that had me this time.
Oh, we're doing Kelly. Okay, yeah, that's not me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I haven't pulled up. It looks like it was Jay and Julie.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to pull mine up.
Pointing.
Okay.
Julie. Julie, do you have anything on Kelly?
I think she said she was trying to pull it up.
Okay. All right. I'll start. Okay. So as far as content, Kelly, I thought it was very good. I was just wondering, if there's any statewide gap. Just wondering how y'all compare to the rest of the state in terms of what you were addressing, or if it's just specific to the school.
Okay.
Honestly, I was just curious on that for myself.
Okay. And I didn't really look at that, but I did look at the district because I thought about putting that in. And the district, it does kind of mirror the gap with our school. So I think adding that district and then adding the state could be good.
Okay. I mean, sometimes when I was reading your stuff, I'm kind of wondering maybe some of these kids don't need to be in AP courses. Not trying to be mean, but that's what I'm wondering. What are the standards for these kids being put into these AP courses?
We're elementary, so mine wasn't.
Are you reading mine?
Mine wasn't the AP one.
kids are real advanced, Kelly.
Maybe we should start this one over.
I got 100 on this from.
I think we may have lost Julie.
Yeah, it looks like.
No.
All right.
She had mentioned, if you didn't hear, she was in a hotel room trying to do the best she could.
Yeah.
I feel bad now because I caused it.
Hold on. Well, hey, so we'll move on. Let's do Carrie then, and I gotta figure out what the heck happened, because this is showing. This is my review I printed for you. So who was the AP person?
That was me.
Okay. Well then, here you go. So that was what I was wondering about on that. And the rubric strength, everything was good. And I thought you didn't really have that many weaknesses. Thought you did a great job leading the PLC through the process. Did a good job APA formatting, organizing, and citing. So you did a great job. 100.
Thanks. Now, what was your question about? Sorry, I was kind of paying attention, but I thought we were looking at Kelly's.
All right, sorry. Somehow
Okay.
I put the wrong name on this one. I'm just wondering how y'all compared to the rest of the state with your AP scores. And like, I'm kind of wondering if maybe some kids are getting put into AP courses that don't need to be there.
Yeah, and that's absolutely what we think too, and that's kind of what we're looking at doing with the PLC is figuring out ways to have the right students end up in AP courses. So
Right.
actually going to be looking at linking like the pre-ACT or something with placement in AP courses because of that gap. And it's hard to, I mean, this is our third year as a school, so, we've got very limited data as well,
Right.
but that was the one where we were deficient, whereas the others were above state average and district average and everything.
Okay. Yeah. I was just, wondering, like, if you're just
Yeah.
doing it based on how they're getting, their grades in the classroom versus, so I was just curious about that. So, but I apologize for typing that on the wrong person's thing.
No worries.
Did y'all get the same, like, did you read my stuff and it had the wrong stuff in it?
I got your review and it had
You had
me.
the right stuff in mind.
I must have messed up saving. All right. Sorry, because I reprinted it tonight. So sorry.
No worries.
It's all good.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, so Carrie, who else did Carrie?
Matt was my other one, I think.
Yep. I sent it to you. Uh-oh, am I here?
You're here.
Okay. Structure was good. Data was done very well. You showed the need to improve your AP scores. You did a good job of connecting your state scores with your school scores and showing the comparative analysis, which gives you kind of an idea as to what you guys are striving for. Like you've mentioned this a lot. Your school's relatively new, so there's not a whole lot to go on. I did not really see any weaknesses. I really, I'm not going to sit there and look for something if it's not there. It was a pretty strong job. Your leadership was there. It was all done. Again, you compared EOC and ACT scores. So you went on a couple different angles as far as doing your comparative analysis with your data. Mechanics and grammar was good. All in all, everything was pretty good from my vantage point. So I'd say keep it up.
Appreciate the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who had Matt?
Is Julie back with us? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I'm on my phone, but I'm still trying to pull up my review. So if y'all just hang with me for just a minute.
Yeah, no worries. Just was making sure you were back.
Okay. I
Hey,
am
Julie.
sorry. Hi. Oh wait, was this Kelly's?
Yeah, you can. Let's do
what are
Kelly.
we doing?
Let's go because my Kelly was
Okay,
too initial, so. We need
You
your
missed a
input.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If we're still doing Kelly's, then so I can't see you. I can only hear you. If we're still doing Kelly's, I finally got it to come up.
All right.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right. So for your content, I thought the content was in line with the task. I think a comparison to other school districts or schools might help know where your school falls in terms of the gap. We do that a lot in our district where we look at other school districts and other schools to kind of figure out where we are in line with other people who are kind of similar. I don't know if you have access to that, but that would just be something for content. And I thought it was really good, but I thought that might be something you could look at. With this, help inform how your school is doing or what others might be doing who are better, because I know one of the things they look at is what's the gap, what's the problem, what are other people doing who are being successful, and how might that work for you. So that data might be, if you could get that data. I know I can in my district, but I don't know if you can in yours. And then I liked how you introduced the iReady and the Achieve 3000 and the Lexile scores to help close the gaps. The walkthrough vision is also a strong way to push the administration and the classroom teacher accountability. I think that's really good and something that's used in lots of districts to hold people accountable. The only weakness I saw was that some data isn't present yet, but once it's there with the narrative and the information, the analysis will be a little bit more clear. You're definitely leading through this process. I think everything's presented that's there really thoroughly and completely. I like how all the evidence thus far is clearly presented and organized. And I think once everything's all together, it's going to really come together for you.
Thank you. And I think I do have access to definitely district data, so I will definitely do that. And that was actually some of Jay's feedback, even though he didn't mean it for me. So that's a good idea. Thank you so much.
Our assistant superintendent in charge of instruction and policy puts together all of that data, and it does. You might have access to it, or somebody in your district might, but that file that comes through from DPI when you look at your district compared to other districts is ginormous. It'll take you like an hour to download. So if somebody in your district has access to that and can give you that information, if you know who to contact for that, that's some really good information.
Thankfully, our head of testing did that for us, but they kind of took that big file and then condensed it down and shared that with administrators. So I have a good condensed version of that I'll be able to use. So I'll definitely.
Yeah, we do too. That's great that they do that. Ours does that too. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go for Matt. Who had Matt?
I had Matt. So overall, thought the task was definitely aligned with content there. Good use of details to explain how the team identified the most pressing need and using data to do so. I liked your visuals and the breakdown by student. That was kind of helpful to see with the iReady usage. The only thing I said as a suggestion was the data shows the numbers, but maybe you could mention that in the narrative too, just kind of summarizing it. Definitely can see your leadership through the PLC narrative portion of that. Overall, very well written and organized appropriately using APA format.
Yeah, it's my school has been it's been around for a while, since I believe the 70s. The issue that my school has is it's a notoriously it's kind of a straggling school as far as performance goes. There's been really no movement in the level 1, level 2, your low performing students. They have not shown any growth, and it's been about from what I've been told 4 or 5 years in a row. In fact, some of them have regressed. And so they brought Miss Baker, who Jay mentioned last time. Don't let her get too involved. Well, she's involved in a lot of things, but she's been a good resource. But the issue is the availability of data, resources. It's very difficult. I'm spending most of my time having to search for data, having to put it together, develop it. And I'm not the most gifted when it comes to creating charts and graphs and stuff. So
you guys have a testing coordinator?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a testing coordinator that might be able to help you get some of that data?
Yeah, she's kind of in a glorified role. She
Gotcha.
wears many hats. It's an interesting situation for me because I've always taught high school. This is my first year teaching middle. I'm new to the school, so I don't know who's out. And I think my administration, they're spread a little thin, as I'm sure most are. But I think they've kind of put a lot of emphasis on let's use Miss Baker. Let's use Miss Baker. She's kind of a county resource, and she's kind of. It's interesting because had I known this, I may have honestly thought differently about doing it now. This program, because it almost is like I'm walking into her developing something for the school. She's developing PLC. There's a lot of stuff that I'm kind of doing with her, and we're kind of doing it in a parallel manner. That I'm doing it my way with my program, and she's kind of doing it. Trying to get the school kind of into the more of a 21st century learning, if you will. A lot of pushback from a lot of veteran teachers. So it's been an interesting process. It really has. But it's good. It's a learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of want to come meet her, man. You're not far from me. I might have to come do a visit.
We had a conversation today when we did the fire drill. She's a nice lady.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure it's great. I mean, I just know you're in a hard spot doing that,
It's tough.
Yeah.
And again, if I knew that, I definitely may have considered waiting. Like, let me wait till the new. Listen, everything happens for a reason, and then we're gonna, we'll move forward. We'll get it done. We all have share problems.
Just make it sound like yours. Yes, I said that. It's yours. You got it.
Okay.
Julie,
still with us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay.
You gave me some great feedback that I've made some changes, so I'd like to continue hearing.
Okay, good. You've made changes since I gave the feedback on this one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I think I love what you did with your outside resources, the way you utilize them. That really actualizes the focus and the scope of the PLC. I think your data collection and analysis and direction are completely thought out. Like, you're really thinking about what the problems are and what the solutions could be and how you can utilize your resources, and the data definitely points towards that. I think the really only main weakness is that you have to write it in third person. You cannot write it in first person. So it has to be the candidate did this, the candidate did that. And I know that seems like out-of-body experience, but that's the way it has to be written. So maybe just do like a search on your document to see how many times you use I or me or us, and switch those. I know sometimes I'm really guilty of that. So before I turn it in, I try to do a search like that. Let's see, your leadership on this, I think, is really phenomenal, especially in sifting through the data and trying to get the PLC to understand what you're trying to do and come to conclusions. Other than that, I think and then I did make you probably saw my comment on the organization. So just putting it together, I think that's what we're supposed to do. Is that right, guys? That you're just supposed to sequentially order task 1 and task 2 and just keep the document going?
Mm-hmm.
I just changed it. What I thought was that every time you turn in a task, you put your resource, if you have references, if you have an appendix, you put it for each individual one. My issue was I just kept doing it that way and left them for each one. But what I've done is I read your feedback, and I've just taken them all, put them all at the bottom, and I'll just continue to do that. I'll just add the new task in front, and just kind of build it down.
So for years in my English classes and in my writing classes in college, we've only used MLA. Like the writing classes that I taught at university, we've only used MLA. And a couple of years ago, I had a student who came back to me and said that his teacher made him write a 2-page researched report in MLA, and then they had to switch it to APA, and he learned more about APA than he did anything else. So I started making my students do that a few years ago in my senior English class when they were working on their research papers. And so this year for their senior project, because I know we're having to do so much in APA and all of the work that I'm doing collegiately, that I'm just making them do all of their work in APA. So I'm learning so much about how to do that. And they're hopefully going to learn a little bit about it too, because they've had to do MLA up to me. So I think that's really helping me understand how to work the process, like the nuts and bolts of how this paper's got to be put in. And that's just a little caveat.
No, I listen. I appreciate the feedback. Any feedback I can get, I take just about any criticism. If it can make me better and if it can help, then throw it at me.
Well, hopefully my students will help all of us in this group and what they're learning and how they're teaching me.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great feedback from all you guys besides me. Julie, who had Julie?
I did.
All right, let's rock with her.
I mean, I think it's anybody who's reviewed Julie's work, and now I have as well. They can see, she's got a good grasp of what needs to be done. The content was, again, it was structured well. Strategies that were discussed, again, they kind of aligned. You collected the data. You went into an in-depth discussion and analysis of the data that you had put together. You collected different strategies. You elaborated on them. You presented some figures. You presented comparisons on, again, a local and state level, which is always good. Kind of gives you a good barometer as to what the expectations are on two different levels. My only weakness that I saw, and I'm sure it's an easy fix, was your figures.
Yeah, I took a screenshot of them, but I've since gotten the original document, so I've switched so that it's the readability of it is much improved.
I mean, that's the only thing, and like I said, that's an easy fix, and you've already done it, so there you go. Your leadership is very evident. You have a very good command and grasp done here. It's you know what needs to be done. It's evident. So that's really all I have. I think you're doing a very good job from what I see.
Thank you.
And I had Julie as well, and there's not a whole lot that I would add to that. The only thing that I mentioned as a weakness when I reviewed was the same thing that Matt just mentioned, where the figures were blurry. So you've already addressed that. And then I thought you had a great description of those figures. I thought it was very well written. I did put in that you could add a little bit more narrative to task 2, but I thought overall it was easy to read and follow the rubric. So good job.
Thanks.
All right. Last but not least, me.
I do. So I'll go ahead if you don't mind. I thought it was great. I thought it was very rich in data, lots and lots of data, and I thought you did a good job of visually representing that. I thought maybe you could add a little bit more narrative to that, especially in the area that was criteria and process for identifying the most pressing need, maybe just a little bit more description of how that if you wanted to expand. Mm-hmm. I thought everything looked good for APA. There was one, and this might be a Julie question or a Julie student question. There was one, it was under table 1, the source. I'm not quite sure how to cite that one, but I thought maybe you might check on that one. And I can't even quite remember what it looked like now, but just.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Maybe look at that one. But I thought you did a great job. I thought the data was great.
Thank you.
I had Jay also, and I had very similar feedback. Obviously, overall outline and format was excellent. Great use of data and showing that data with the figures that you used. Also, the only recommendation I had was possibly adding like some narrative about, that analyzing that data. Could definitely see your leadership. I liked that you requested the unreleased data to get the most up-to-date data to show no errors, proper APA formatting. Overall, very good job.
Thanks. Yeah, I just it stinks because I can't go back at the new data, but I can't see the old data. I can't see it. I can see the new data from the school, but not the new data from the state yet. So it's kind of like I'm just kind of wondering how everybody else is looking.
I'm in a similar position.
Yeah.
Hey Jay, do you want me to throw that source into a do you want me to help you put that into the right format for that table?
Yeah, if you want to check it out and email me it, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Well, I'm again on the road tonight, so give me till tomorrow.
Well,
I'll get it to you before the end of the weekend.
It's not due till Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys use this or not, but I found this very helpful when I was doing dissertation because I had 13 pages of references. Do you guys use citationmachine.com?
It's a good one.
It's a great one.
I use it with my students. The only thing is you just have to go back in and double check to make sure that everything is formatted correctly when you do it. So as long as you're looking at the Purdue OWL website and how they do their citations, you can throw everything into the citation machine, or there's several of those that make them, but then go back through and double check what it spits back out to you to make sure that in Purdue OWL you've got everything put in the proper order. That's the only problem I have with my students with that.
What it does is the errors I see with it, they sources where you're entering a website, sometimes it'll spit it back a little off, and it's minor. You just go in there and you modify it, like Julie said. You go into OWL and you just make sure it aligns, and you just organize it accordingly if it's off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
No.
All right. Well, we got everybody done, right?
So.
Were you all in the meeting the Zoom meeting tonight?
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't yet. I hadn't gotten home yet.
Well, I tell you, it went quick. They covered a lot on task stream, and I'd like to talk to somebody about that again.
Well, Matt, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wow, this is a lot of information.
You moved quick.
One thing I feel like with this whole program so far is that these classes go quick, but everything is there for you, like on the Blackboard. If you look through it and figure out how to do it, to me, I almost quit listening tonight because it was this is too much information for me to try to remember or write down.
It was
trust that the instructions are written
overload for me. I agree.
Yeah. So, but
I'm just going to watch this video over and over again.
Yeah.
So if we have questions when the rest of us go back in and look at that, can we just throw them on the email thread and ask some questions of each other to make sure we understand what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If that comes to worse, another quick meeting.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really like you guys. So I kind of like meeting. We only have to turn in this second Zoom video, and we're done with our videos. Is that right? But I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I
wouldn't mind kind of talking to you guys once a week.
The first one in.
Sorry, Julie.
I haven't turned the first one in yet. So do we just put them both? Where do we put them?
You can just paste
you could put two separate links.
Okay.
If you put two separate links, you're going to see it's going to say 1 and 2. Yeah. I've already put the first link that Jay sent. So when Jay sends this one, I'm just going to go right back in there and drop it again, and they'll know. They'll grade it.
Yeah.
And does that goes in the Absol Dropbox?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there's a specific spot for it. I'm trying to remember where it is. If it's with the Zoom.
Let me see if I can bring it up real quick.
I'm not seeing that in the Dropbox.
It might be with the peer reviews.
It's for final. Okay. It's one of the ones for final evaluation. It's not like a discussion.
Oh, Absol completed peer review Dropbox.
It looks like the same thing that you would do in your final, when you put your task, your final one, it looks just like that.
Yeah, but it's the video because you're looking at the ones.
No, it says Apple Task 1 and 2 Zoom peer review link.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Chris, all you gotta do is paste the YouTube. I just copied it right off Jay's email, pasted it right there, the actual link, and he clicked on it apparently, and everything was good.
Perfect. All right. And I'll whenever you post the link, I'll just post them both.
Yeah, it'll probably take
So-
about an hour for this one to come available. And honestly,
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be awake.
So
for an hour.
are we planning on trying to meet up next week too?
I would like to, if you guys would like to, because I enjoy getting your input.
I think, I don't
Yeah,
have
it's
a
good to
problem
have
with
some
it.
feedback.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. So
On
on
Sunday.
Thursday at the same time, or does that work?
That's fine, or we can go back to
That's
Sunday if that
easy.
works for everybody as well. I'll be
I'm playing adult league soccer now on Sunday nights.
okay. So let's do Thursday.
Thursday's good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
All right, 8:30
All right,
fine with
thanks,
everybody.
guys.
We'll drop it down to 8:15 because I don't. 8:30 is fine.
Yeah.
Either one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm watching the game.
Yeah, me too.
Did Hurley score? He's on my fantasy team.
No, it's the Hurricanes. He just threw a pick six on
Okay.
the jump. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Those that are reviewing my stuff, I will hopefully have it in the next 36 hours is the goal.
You're all right, man. Everybody's
Yeah, no
going through
worries.
it right now. You'll
Yeah.
Carrie's yours is
Me
looking
too.
good. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I've already read it. It's good. I haven't reviewed it, but
Thanks.
all right.
All
Y'all have a
right,
great
thanks,
night.
All
guys.
right, y'all have a good weekend.
safe. Have a good night.
All right, bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.
What are you gonna say?